Good morning, children. Welcome back to our virtual class. So in continuation of the lesson Money and Credit, today we are going to take up the topic modern forms of money. Now before just going to this modern forms of money, let us look into what is accepted as medium of exchange, that is money. But before money was invented, people used a variety of objects for exchange of goods like grain, cattle, and later metallic coins also were used. So now if you look into the modern forms of money, we have the bifurcation like currency and deposits with the banks. So now we'll just look into the deposits with banks later, but let us look into currency. So in currency you will be coming across paper notes and coins. So modern currency is without any use of its own. Now suppose if you take metallic coins, so gold or silver, these coins had a little bit more value. So but nowadays modern currency, if you see, it is without any use of its own. And why are we using this money as a medium of exchange? Because it is accepted, because this currency is authorized by the government of the country. So nobody else can issue the currency notes except the Reserve Bank of India. So Reserve Bank of India issues currency notes on behalf of the central government. And not only that, law legalizes the use of rupee as medium of payment. So nobody can deny the payment in the form of money in India as a rupee. So no individual in the country can legally refuse a payment made in rupees. So rupee is widely accepted as a medium of exchange. Now we'll continue with the demand deposits in the next video. To the next category of modern forms of money, that is deposit with banks. The other form of money which people hold is as deposits in the banks. So when people have a little bit excess of money, for safety and security, what do? They deposit it in the bank. Because when it is a business person, he will not use the entire money at a time. So he will be using it for day-to-day expenses, and the excess amount, whatever he is having, he will be putting it in the bank on his name. And he opens an account and he deposits the money in the bank. So the banks accept deposits and pay interest on them. So this way, banks accept, when they accept the deposits, the money of these people is very safe and secure. Now whenever these people are in need of money, it can be withdrawn on demand. So hence these are also called as demand deposits. And one more important feature which we find very common with the currency is payments made by checks instead of cash. So till now we were talking about exchange of goods or services with money, but here we come across checks. Now what is this check? Children, I think all of you know, and you all are aware of what is a check. Otherwise you just ask your parents to show their checkbook and have a glance of a check. So demand deposits share the essential features of money, and they are accepted widely as a means of payment along with the currency. They constitute money in the modern economy. So currency and deposits are closely linked in the working of modern banking system. I think it's clear, children, this topic, that is deposits with the banks. Thank you. We'll continue in the next video.
In this module, you will learn about the modern forms of money. Money today acts as a medium of exchange. But before the introduction of coins, Indians used a variety of objects like grains and cattle as money. Subsequently, the use of metallic coins, that is, gold, silver, and copper coins, also became popular. This phase continued well into the last century. Modern forms of exchange include paper notes and coins. These are together referred to as currency. The modern currency is without any use of its own. That is, unlike the things that were used as money earlier, modern currency is neither made of precious metals such as gold, silver or copper, nor is it of everyday use as were grains and cattle. The reason the currency is accepted as a medium of exchange is that it is authorized by the government of the country. In our country, the Reserve Bank of India, abbreviated as RBI, issues currency notes on the central government's behalf. The Indian law does not allow any other organization to issue currency. Furthermore, the law validates that nobody can legally refuse payment made in rupees in India. Thus, the use of rupee as a medium of payment cannot be refused in settling transactions in India. Hence, the rupee is widely accepted as a medium of exchange. People also hold money in the form of deposits in banks. They deposit their surplus income by opening a bank account in their name. Banks accept the deposits and also pay an amount as interest on the deposits. People can withdraw this money as and when required. Since there is provision of withdrawal of deposits on demand, these deposits are called demand deposits. Demand deposits offer another facility which lends it the essential characteristics of money, which is a medium of exchange. It is the method of check payment. A check is a paper instructing the bank to pay a specific amount from a signer's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. For payment through check, the pair who has an account with the bank makes out a check for a specific amount. Here is an example to understand how people make and get check payments. A potter camel has to make a payment to the clay supplier, and he writes a check for specific amount. In the check, he writes the supplier's name, and writes account payee at the top left corner, which means that the specific amount should go in the person's account whose name has been mentioned on the check. He writes the specific amount in words, and then in numeric, and draws his signature on the bottom right corner. The clay supplier takes this check, and deposits it in his own account in the bank. The money is transferred from one bank account to another bank account in a couple of days. Thus, the transaction is complete without any payment of cash. Thus, demand deposits share the essential features of money. The check facility against demand deposits makes it possible to directly settle payments without the involvement of cash. Here, the banks play a very essential role. Since they are accepted widely as a means of payment, along with currency, they constitute money in the modern economy. Additionally, the modern forms of money, that is, currency and deposits, are closely linked to the working of the modern banking system.